Hello, my name is Aubrey Wallen. I just talked about the books of the Old Testament, and I wanted to briefly talk about the New Testament. So the first 4 books of the New Testament are called the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and they basically talk about Jesus, who he was, where he came from, what he did while he was on earth, his crucifixion, his resurrection, and his promise to come back a second time. Then there's a book of history, and that book of history is the book of Acts, which is the history of the early church at the time that Jesus died and was resurrected forward. And then Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrew, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st and 2nd, 3rd John, and Jude are the next ones. And that's just a whole bunch of letters that were written from people who lived back then to people who lived back then. And we get to kind of look in through like a time capsule and see what they said to each other via the letters. Then the last book is the book of Revelation, which was written by John on the island of Patmos. And he supposedly received this revelation, and it was from Jesus Christ himself. And it is a book of prophecy. So if you're going to start reading the Bible and you want to start in the New Testament, I suggest one of the 4 Gospels, because that's where you're going to read about Jesus. So that's Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, and that's where you'll get to meet Jesus. Avoid Revelation, as prophecy is very confusing, and I would hate for you to become discouraged and to give up because of the weird language. As always, seek mentorship.